Start over.
No, back the microphone. All right, boss, what are we talking about tonight?
Hello and welcome to Messages and Methods. I'm your host, Shelley Carney, and this is
Toby Younis.
Tonight we'll be talking about how our clients are powerfully attractive and what that means. What do you think?
I actually want to know what it means. Do you have some questions for me?
Yeah,
Surprise questions.
basically, what does it mean?
All right.
So
Well,
you
we'll have
better
that
know.
conversation. I'll be ready to talk.
All right, here we go.
I always like this part. I think this is good.
That's why our intro lasts so long here.
Thank you, Twinkle. All right.
If you are in your 50s or older, we've got something wonderful to share with you. Do you want to produce a live stream, podcast, and blog to quickly expand your brand and business? Or would you like to visit with us, tell us your story and share your message with the world? Experience Messages and Methods live stream podcast with Shelley Carney and Toby Younis. Every week we come together to discuss topics related to encore entrepreneurs, content marketing, live streaming video, podcasting, and blogging. We share stories, experiences, and knowledge to help others in their journey to creating a highly visible online presence. Subscribe today and become a part of our treasured community.
Yay.
That subscribe video that was on that last one? That's on Vidnami?
Yeah,
Cool.
comes with it.
Wow.
Did all that on its own.
Wow. Automatically done for
Well,
you by Olivia.
I changed a couple of videos, but most of it was done by itself.
Yeah.
Buzz.
Buzz.
Okay. All right. So are you ready to start? Ready for your questions? Surprise questions?
Yeah.
Pop quiz.
Pop quiz. Here we go.
Here we go. Number one. What does it mean when we say our clients are powerfully attractive?
It means that, so the objective of our effort for our clients is to increase their level of visibility in a way that creates for them credibility, because what they're doing is using their expertise. That enables them to attract clients that are effectively perfectly matched. Because if I'm constantly telling you, and I'm just going to use this as an example, if I'm constantly producing videos, podcasts, and blog posts that inform you or give you the impression, not only create visibility for me, but give you the impression that I'm an expert in, let's say, microscopy, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you read all of those. Eventually, that level of visibility starts building credibility, at least in your mind. And sooner or later, if you happen to have a question about microscopes or all the possible variations of that particular brand of technology, you're going to want to talk to me. And that's what creates that powerful attraction. It is the ability not only to create visibility, but do it in a way that pushes you out. Expands your presence in social media, and as a result, and this of course assumes that you know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
And I think one of the advantages that we have in our clients is that they're all senior citizens, right? They're over 50
Mm-hmm.
plus, and they're basically building businesses that are based upon their particular brand of expertise. Peter being one example, coffee being another example, So that's what makes them powerfully attractive. It is the combination of higher levels of visibility in a very, professionally done way, and using that visibility to express themselves in a foundation of their area of expertise. That makes them powerfully, as you called it, powerfully attractive.
They attract powerfully.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. So is that answering the question, what makes them so powerfully attractive?
Well, so it's a combination of things, and I think it's bits and pieces of everything that I said. What makes them powerfully attractive is that our clients have a real good sense of who they are, right?
Mhm.
Meaning they know that that they've had success as experts in whatever field that they achieved their um, uh, level of success in, right? So, for example, and I'll go back to a more real world example, I have a lot of experience in documentary making. And if I wanted to, I could start making videos and audio podcasts and blog posts about documentary making. But I'm confident in that I know what I'm talking about. I've done it enough, hundreds of documentaries for various clients. I've done it enough that I know what I'm talking about, and I'm comfortable in that. And once you have that sense, and that's how our clients are, and once you have that sense that you're dealing with someone who A, knows exactly what they're talking about, and B, is expressing that in a way that not only makes it understandable, but intrigues you enough to want to know more about them and about what they do and how they think, etc.
All right. So let's take a look and see what comments we're getting.
Oh, are we getting comments? I didn't see.
Looks like we have a couple of comments from
Might
the
be
audience.
some hellos.
See if we have any questions.
It's the junkyard dog, Waco.
Saying hello. All right.
Hi, Waco.
Good evening. So, how do we help people to become more powerfully attractive?
So I can speak from our experience. It's actually the combination of at least two and maybe three things. Number one, we provide them the knowledge of all the tools that they need to make themselves highly visible in a social media driven environment. I like when you call it a social media storm, right? So we provide them the support, the knowledge, and the training that enables them to project themselves very comfortably and without a great deal of travel expense, right? Into into the various social media platforms and expand their social media presence. So that's the first thing. The second thing is that generally speaking, we know that these are people that are confident in their own area of expertise, but generally speaking, also confident enough to stand up in front of an audience and share that expertise with a room full of people. What we do is help them transform that expertise into being in front of a camera and not necessarily having that audience directly in front of you, where you're getting all that energy from. Anybody who's spoken, who loves public speaking. If you talk to people who love public speaking, there's a lot of them that don't, but there's some that do. And the ones that love public speaking, one of the reasons they love it is because they get that energy back from the audience. And that's very, very important, and very why they keep doing it. Why even on a bad day, they can look at that bad day in presentation mode and say, you know what, I'm okay. I'll do it again next week and it'll be better. So they were helping them to make that transition from that world where they have that energy coming back to them, where all we have in front of us is that single-eyed object of a camera in front of us, and we have to work in a way so that we can understand what's going on in the audience behind that lens. So, and then the third thing is the comment, as I said, they're projecting themselves out to their existing social media environment. They're the platforms on which they already exist. They're learning how to project themselves through a single-eyed audience. And then lastly, they're able to take and use the laws of synchronicity, those things that they always wanted to talk about. Whenever you have a conversation, I've seen it happen in coffee, for example. If you start a conversation and you stay on the topic for a little bit, he comes up with a whole bunch of new ideas that he hasn't previously thought of or considered, but they've always been in the back of his head. And if you allow him to speak about them, those ideas start coming out in a resynchronized form, new ideas that he kind of knew they were there floating around, like Jung said, floating around on the inside of your head. And suddenly they coalesce into a single explainable idea. And that, I know, for the kind of people that are our clients, is very exciting. That moment where you go like, oh, wow, I never saw it that way before. When in reality, it was floating around in their head. They just never were able to coalesce it into something that was explainable. You always, it's like saying, I've been thinking about that. I have this idea floating around my head, but I can't turn it into something. It isn't coalescing into something that we can do with it. That point, these people get really, really good at that. Our clients get really good at that. And when you see someone that has that capability, that ability, that is very attractive to their prospective customers. Right? You see somebody who can listen to you talk for a half hour, for 15 minutes, a half hour, 45 minutes, and suddenly they come back at you with a set of ideas that you hadn't even considered up to that point. But just by listening to you and combining it with their area of expertise, the knowledge of their area of expertise, they can come back at you as a client with new and better, more intriguing, and possibly ideas with greater potential for you. All of that makes them, our customers, very attractive to their customers.
All right. So that's how we help people. What is our offer? What do we offer? What kind of results can we help people to achieve?
So it has to be said, this statement has to be made in the context of what kind of potential today's technology has for anyone, including our clients. So from a deliverables perspective, here's what you get if you work with us, is within a very short period of time, your quote online, unquote, but you're online on all the platforms that and techniques that increase your visibility. So if I could tell you at the end of this week, you're going to have a live stream on YouTube, simultaneously on YouTube and Facebook, that's going to result in a podcast, and not much extra effort, a podcast upload, and without much extra effort, a blog post upload. Now, at a minimum, you're on 4 different platforms with the same message, except that the content is restructured. In one case, of video, combination video and audio. In another case, audio only. In another case, text. And then you can start learning to take the clips and put them on things like Twitter and TikTok and Instagram, the short form products, each of whom recognizes the value of a video product, right? They're not shying away from it. Twitter was about words. Now they're about video and words. Instagram was about photos. Now they're about videos and photos. TikTok has always been about short form videos, but now you can create clips that fit each one of their requirements. And now you're on 3 platforms that you never even considered the possibility of. So when you enter your name in Google and you do Toby Younis, you see a listing that includes YouTube videos, blog posts, podcasts, et cetera, and you see 2 million plus entries for that name, just because of the variety of platforms that you're taking advantage of. And what's amazing, of course, to us is those platforms don't cost you anything. It doesn't cost you anything to stream to Facebook. It doesn't cost you anything to stream to YouTube. It doesn't cost you anything to upload a short form video to Twitter or Instagram or TikTok. It doesn't cost you anything to maintain a WordPress blog from what you're already doing. It literally doesn't cost you anything to take your last 20 episodes, transcribe them into text, edit them, and upload them to Kindle so that you can make a book. It costs you nothing except your time. Amazon will happily let you upload your book for free. And if it's good enough, put it in its catalog, and you start making money from a book that cost you nothing. Literally nothing. Your live stream cost you nothing. Your podcast cost you nothing. Your transcription cost you nothing, etc. It didn't cost you anything up to and including manufacturing the book. I mean, how better a deal are you going to get from anything in life? You can increase your visibility, your credibility in the field in which you are an expert for nothing.
Effort.
Yeah, your time and effort. And then you know in the past that whenever I talk about something like this, I always use time, effort, and money.
Yeah.
Right.
There's a little bit of money. I mean,
there's
internet costs.
Internet costs. There are some internet costs, but certainly not the cost that you would expect.
But if you're just dirt poor, but you have a phone, you can still do it.
That's
because
right.
You could just go to somewhere that has Wi-Fi.
Yeah, and there are people who do.
Yeah,
there are people who do.
There are ways. There are definitely ways to do it all. Super cheap or free. That's right. So the results we provide, basically blogging, podcasting, and live streaming all at the same time, and visibility that comes from that. What are some of the ways our clients attract leads and become more visible? What are some of the specific things that they're doing that are bringing in new leads, new clients, new audience members?
Freebies. That's how you do it. You do it with freebies, and here's how. And you're actually going to show a couple of examples tonight, right?
Freebies.
We'll talk about them in just a minute. But the idea is nobody will not well. The idea is that what you have is expertise, an area of expertise that is so expansive that you could give away half of it and still be ahead in the game, right? So if you can take that concept, the idea that giving away your thinking for free will lead to people and wanting to add to your email list, and now you have a new prospective customer every time they do that, that's the idea. So the fundamental principle is, whether it's video or pamphlets or booklets or ebooks or whatever, you create free content.
Or a short course.
A short course, and we'll talk about that as well. You create free content and you offer it to people in return for what they're willing to give you. And generally what they're willing to give you is their name and email address. Now, because of the laws, because of the spam laws, they have to you have to have them opt in. They have to agree to that, and anytime they want to unsubscribe, you have to make that available to them. And there's lots of tools. Ours, for example, is Get Response, right? We use Get Response. They produce everything we need, and then at the end, they make sure they add all the stuff at the bottom that says, here's who's contacting you, here's their email address, here's their phone number, here's their website, here's their all their information, and if you don't want any of this information to come through, here's the unsubscribe button. Mm-hmm. They make sure they do that for you. But as long as you're creating content that is free, because all you have to do is give me your name and email address. That doesn't cost you anything. And because of the laws, I can't just keep sending you stuff, right? If you don't want it, you just say, I don't want it, and you still get it for free, right? You download the ebook for free, or in our case, you watch our videos for free and you learn from them. And our clients have picked up on that concept. The difference between us and them is that all our content, our free content, is oriented to our area of expertise. There is nothing that prevents Shelley Carney from writing an ebook on client attraction or a podcast star or doing videos on how to be a live stream producer, right? That costs you the time and effort, no money, because it's all in your head already, right? You just wrote 2 scripts tonight that gave us extra assets on our program, And you did it between dinner and the time we started the show, time and effort. And now we have 2 additional products, not only that we can use for ourselves, but then the next time a customer says, I don't know how to do that. Or I don't know how to edit. I don't know how to make videos. We can show them, here's how you do it on the product that we use,
Mhm.
So that area of expertise is yours. And what you're doing is you're making it available to the outside world in various forms so that you can increase your credibility. And what comes after credibility? Trust, right? So if I keep sending you ebooks and videos that show you how smart I am.
Because the content is valuable to me,
Right.
valuable and relevant.
Right, that's right.
Useful and relevant. So,
Right. So eventually I start building some trust. And then eventually the transformation of the client-customer relationships takes place. So our clients are doing the same thing that we do because we show them how and we tell them that it's important. And all they have to do is be an expert, and then we show them how to use the tools.
so let's talk a little bit about our tool,
I forgot to turn on my banner. Give me a second here. There we go.
the Creative Campaign Framework. Let's talk about the Creative Campaign Framework and the producer training that goes along with that and how it can help people to become a producer.
So let's start with the Creative Campaign Framework. I want to say it's our invention. I don't think it's our invention. I think we put it together in a form that was cohesive and logical in the sense that it followed from one. You can draw a diagram. You can draw a logic diagram with it. It's so straightforward. So the Creative Campaign Framework says the idea is to take a single piece of easy to produce content and leverage it in as many ways as possible. And you've heard us talk about these before. A live stream to a podcast to a transcript to a blog post, and to eventually a book when you have enough of those transcripts, right? And you keep doing that. And then from the video, you do the short form videos that go on to Twitter, into just one piece of content. Tonight's video, the one that we're making right now in front of you, is going to end up in what I like Shelley calling a social media storm of content. One video is going to turn into 10 or 15 different pieces of content on different types of platforms. That's the Creative Campaign Framework. What the Creative Campaign Framework does is it gives you a diagram to work with. It's a chart, basically. That's why it's called a framework. Some people call it an architecture, the Creative Campaign architecture. And that's what it is. Now, the second question you ask is, what do clients get from us when they start doing business with us? First of all, they get a lot of freebies, right? One freebie includes introduction of this whole concept on messages and methods. We invite all our clients to come on messages and methods as guests so they can talk about what they're doing, where they're going with it. That's the first thing. The second thing that they'll get, that we offer them, is the producers training, the producers video training. That's a freebie, and I'm going to show you how to get that later tonight. It's a freebie. It's 5 short videos that give you the basis, that foundation. If you finish those 5 videos and you make a request to have a 1-hour conversation with us about what you learned, we'll give you the Creative Campaign Producer's Handbook, right? Comes with it. So what you're getting from us is a lot of freebies based upon the lessons we've learned about doing the work that we're doing, because that's what we're going to ask you to do. And we're going to ask you to do it, and then we're going to teach you how to do it in all those ways. Now, that eventually leads to the Producers Bootcamp, the Creative Campaign Producers Bootcamp. The bootcamp is a week-long effort. At the end of that week, in that week, you will learn more about producing and distributing content than you ever have. And at the end of it, you will have a YouTube channel with your first live stream, an Anchor FM channel with your first podcast, and a WordPress blog with your first post. In 1 week, from 0 to the end of 1 week, you'll have your first iteration of the creative campaign framework. And from that point, after that, you become a member of our group. And whenever you need, or whenever you have questions or need advice, you become a member of our group, and we provide that as well. So I don't want to call it hand-holding. It's not hand-holding because
It's one-on-one coaching.
it is for any of you who have gone through boot camp. It's not hand-holding, right? It's you're going to do this because as your drill sergeant, I know you can do this.
Right. And, we can't do your push-ups for you
Right.
because it's not going to help you.
Right.
If we do it for you, you're not going to learn how to do it. You're not going to get stronger.
So that's kind of it in a nutshell. There's lots to be talked about, and we'll show you as.
And we're not going to make you do push-ups.
Right.
Just to be clear.
Get down. Give me 20. So, do you have any other questions?
Nope.
So I can show them some stuff.
Start showing.
So,
Show and tell.
By the way, great questions.
Thanks.
And you know how much I enjoy answering those questions. Let me turn this off. Okay. So there are going to be in the description box below a bunch of links, including the ones that I'm about to show you. But this is, if you're interested in working with us, let me show you the free and easy way to start. All right. So number one, I'm going to open this up. And you can add with me as long as you can. Let's say, for example, you are over 50. You have a desire to become an encore entrepreneur or a legacy live streamer. You should know by now what we're talking about when we say that. But one of the opportunities to grow in that role is to come on to our show, Messages and Methods, and talk about what your plans are. And we'll give you the opportunity to do that. The show will be about you. It'll be Wednesdays, etc. Well, what Shelley has designed, and I'm going to let you talk about it here.
All right. This is called Our Guest's Journey because we take you through a process to get you from A to Z using these short videos. And these videos basically give you an explanation of why you would want to be on our program, how it all works, and how to tell a compelling story that would engage the audience so that your interview goes well and everybody's happy. Then it's followed up by the links that you would use to answer the application questions, sign the release, and schedule your interview.
You can actually go to our calendar and schedule the Wednesday that you want to do the interview. Yeah. So you can't do it. This is June. We used up June. You'd have to go to July, right?
Yeah.
Boom.
Boom.
And then those are the available dates, and you schedule it. And once you're scheduled, you're locked in.
So that's a very simple way to get started with live streaming and podcasting is to be a guest first, and then you kind of get to see how it's done by watching others do it, and then you can kind of decide for yourself. I think I could do that too if they taught me. I would like to do all of that. Then you know.
And one of the things, if you decide to do that, one of the things that you'll get as a result is this ebook that Shelley has written, and it's how to become a podcast star, how to get booked on podcasts and be a great star.
Now, when show that on full screen.
Okay. And when we say podcast, we also mean live streams. So if you come on our show, we'll give you a free copy of that so that you can be on other podcasts and live streams and be able to tell your story, because that's what they want. That's why you're asking to join them. All right. Let me close this calendar, and then I'm going to go there to tell them about that.
All right. And this is our live Facebook group. We live stream into this group. We offer our resources there. So every time we create a new resource, we will include it in our private Facebook groups so that the people who are in the group have access to those resources at any time. And we also give our members an opportunity to share about themselves, to network with other members, to offer each other to be guests on their podcast. And the group is growing. It's for those who are 50 and older who want to get into podcasting, live streaming, and blogging in that way. So if that's something you're interested in, there's the link, facebook.com/groups/leveraging your content. So just go there and request to join, and we'll let you on in.
Okay, and we'll go from there to, this is a new one from Shelley.
Okay. This is specifically, I created this little booklet. It's a checklist booklet called Client Attraction, the Most Effective Ways to Attract Quality Clients in 2021, your essential checklist of 27 powerful strategies to reach your revenue goals. And that's this booklet that I've got in my hands, and it's digital, so you can go there and download it and have it on your computer. You can print it out if you want, and that way you can check things off as you go through. And it's just very simple, straightforward, easy to understand, little booklet to help you, give you ideas, 27 different ideas on how to expand your presence online and connect with your ideal client.
And that link is in the description box below. All right.
That's right.
And then last but not least is
This fancy thing.
Yeah.
So this is our free training. It's a mini course. We call it the Creative Campaign Producer Training mini course, and you can sign up for it. It's free. Just follow through there's 5 very short videos that provide the instruction, that detail how to become a creative campaign producer. And at the end, we give you a free gift for watching the video and connecting with us.
And you can get that at ccp.agkmedia.studio. If you go there, it's a very cool.
CCP stands for Creative Campaign Producer, ccp.agkmedia.studio.
So very quick video. Shelley explains everything. And then once you say go ahead that you want the training, you're taken to a training of, what did you say, 5 videos?
Yeah.
5 videos.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can follow the directions in there.
And you can do that either on your computer or your phone if you like.
Okay. Let me see. What else? What am I missing?
That's
Is that everything?
all the resources we have for tonight.
All the resources. You got a bunch of resources.
So make sure you check the show notes or description box if you need to remember where those things are, and go ahead and grab everything. It's all free. It's all just for you. Can't hear it.
That's because I want you to talk.
Oh, well, thank you all for being here tonight. And we appreciate you being a part of our community and subscribing. Please do share our show with anybody you feel would be a good fit for this information. And if you want to start your own live stream, blog, and podcast, make sure you check out those links in the description box and get started today. Don't put it off. It's free, it's easy, and we're here to help.
What are we doing tomorrow?
Taking over the world.
Let's go. Let's take over the world. Why not?
This is the Shelley Carney live stream coach show, and we'll be outlining some of those 27 different ideas and the 5 major segments of those ideas that you can employ to increase your visibility and credibility online.
Say good night.
Good night, everybody.
Thanks for joining us tonight, guys. We'll see you tomorrow on Shelley Carney's channel.
Don't forget to play the outro video, the new one.
Thank you for joining us for the AGK Media Studio podcast with Shelley Carney and Toby Younis. Please subscribe, leave a great review, and comment with questions or ideas for future shows. Share our podcast with your family and friends and discover how you can become a creative campaign producer at agkmedia.studio or join our Facebook group, Leveraging Your Content. Check the show notes for links and resources, and please come back again next week.